We'll take you now to the latest Cowboys rumors, and I actually hinted on this on our last show about Jourdan Lewis because he's only played one snap this year. Could he be traded? I'm going to give it 2 stars. 24/7 Sports threw it out there as well. I think it makes some sense because if you're the Cowboys, you're not playing a talented player. What is more valuable to you, say a 4th-round pick or Jourdan Lewis? Now, I still lean more on the side of Jourdan Lewis because I like the player a lot, and frankly, even though Anthony Brown actually has been really good so far this year, I'd still rather play Jourdan Lewis, but there's definitely some buzz going on here around Lewis. I would not at all be surprised if he ended up being trade bait before the trade deadline, and there is the report from Bobby Belt that the Cowboys did shop Lewis lightly before the season. I think it makes some sense. I will say monitor it. I wouldn't do it because I think you need corners in the NFL. I would rather have extra corner depth than not enough. So I say no on a trade of Jourdan Lewis, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think. We'll get to a trade package later on in the show, hint, hint, involving Jourdan Lewis. 2 of them, technically, but I still say no. I would rather keep him on the roster from the Cowboys. All right, next up, Jaylon Smith. Is he back? Earlier in the season, before we got to the regular season, I said I put this at 3 stars. I wanted to see Jaylon fully play games. I wanted to see Jaylon Smith be the #1 guy. Now, in reality here, I think that you're going to see Jaylon Smith be that guy. And I love what I've seen so far from Jaylon Smith. And even Jaylon Smith seems to indicate, by the way, that he feels pretty good about the way he's played. And I know that a lot of you didn't like the Jaylon Smith pick because he was coming off that knee injury. But here's the deal with Jaylon Smith, folks. I think he's back. And if you guys saw the play during the Giants game when Jaylon Smith ran all the way back with Odell Beckham in coverage and helped not really big up pass because Jeff Heath ended up making the interception there, but I totally believe in Jaylon Smith. So with that in mind, folks, I do think that Jaylon Smith is back. 4 stars on this one here. He told Jerry Jones, quote, "I'm back." I agree. He looks completely recovered from that knee injury, and he's looked very, very good in coverage as well. I've been very impressed with Jaylon Smith. I think we are back to prime Notre Dame, maybe even just a little bit better than Notre Dame at Jaylon Smith. So big addition there for the Cowboys to have him back and going. And when Sean Lee went down with that injury in week 2, Jaylon Smith was there and playing very, very well. So very happy with how well Smith has fared this year. 14 tackles, the 1 sack, and of course the tackle for loss as well. I've been very pleased by how well Jaylon Smith has played this season. Folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, and they've got a special deal just for you Cowboys fans out there. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is if you put down $100, they'll give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220 to bet with on BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code Cowboys120 to get that special deal. All right, next up on our Rumors Roundup, because I already saw it in the comment section and we saw it on Tuesday's show, and well, we knew it was going to come back again. Could an Earl Thomas trade happen? I'm going to give it the 1 star. I don't think it's all that likely, especially as we sit right now, but it's not dead yet. And frankly, it's not going to be dead unless the Seahawks extend Earl Thomas or until we get after the NFL trade deadline. Now, just to recap here, the Cowboys offered a 2nd-round pick for Earl Thomas. And Seattle was like, no, we want a 1st. And Cowboys were like, click, hang up the phone. Maybe that changes, though, because if Seattle starts the year 0-3, they ain't making the playoffs. And if you're Seattle, wouldn't you rather have a 3rd-round pick next year that's going to be higher than a potential comp pick in the 3rd round that's going to be lower? And frankly, we know the Cowboys offered a 2nd-round pick. If the Cowboys and Seahawks revisit talks at the trade deadline, I don't think the Cowboys are going to offer that 2nd-round pickup again. I think the offer drops down to a 3rd-round pick because you've missed out on almost a quarter of the season. You have to get him up to speed, even though it is a very similar defense with Chris Richard there. I think the offer goes from a 2nd-round pick to a 3rd-round pick. Or another potential option here, what if you send over Jourdan Lewis? I think it drops it down to a 5th-round pick and Lewis. The Cowboys do get a little bit thinner at cornerback, but I think Xavier Woods in reality becomes your extra nickel hybrid safety type guy. I am still open to an Earl Thomas trade. It all depends, of course, on Seattle. And frankly, just so you guys know, as I'm sure you are aware, the Cowboys defense is just fine without Earl Thomas. So let me know in the comment section, what would you trade for Earl Thomas? Is that a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, or would you trade nothing because you don't even think that the Cowboys need Earl Thomas right now? Let me know in the comment section. Next up on our rumors roundup, I knew this one was going to come across my timeline, and of course it did. What about Antonio Brown to the Cowboys? Right? No. Fake news. This is not happening. Fan-sided. Don't throw out crappy trade offers because, yes, Brown skipped the Steelers meetings on Monday, and yes, he clapped back at a former PR guy for the Steelers who said that they should, or that Brown is only made because he plays for Big Ben. The Steelers are not trading Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown doesn't want out. And if Antonio Brown did want out, unlike Earl Thomas, who's kind of expiring, AB's locked in. And he's the best receiver in the NFL. He's going to command a massive asking price. Now, this is what Fansided had to offer. How about a first-round pick in David Irving? Because, yeah, get rid of David Irving because every Cowboys trade offer that's bad includes David Irving. Because the Steelers would definitely want a defensive tackle who doesn't even fit their scheme and is coming off a suspension. That's what Pittsburgh wants. Or maybe a Jourdan Lewis and a first-round pick. That's like offering a first and a fourth. You saw what Khalil Mack went for. Now, obviously, receivers aren't as valuable. You don't have to pay Antonio Brown quite yet. You have to give a lot more. So it's fake news. Antonio Brown, guys, I'm sorry. He ain't coming to Dallas. You know what might be coming to you, though? How about a Cowboys t-shirt or hat? We are giving away 20 of these. Already gave away several. We have a few left as well. And one of the 20, once we get 20 of you guys to sign up with our sponsor who's providing us with the t-shirt and hat, is getting Cowboys tickets. So if you want the hat and the t-shirt and a chance to win the Cowboys tickets, DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. I'll tell you how to get set up with our sponsor. Hey, we got 20. We've already given away about 10 of them, so you better get on it quickly. DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. All right, 2 more rumors to go through here. Is the Cowboys offense fixed? And kind of, sort of, maybe a little bit. I'll give it 2 stars. This is more or less what Blogging the Boys over at SB Nation said as well. It was better in week 2, right? The opening script was really good. But the second and third quarter wasn't as good, and the offensive line and the running game did not quite get going overall. Here's the reality for the Cowboys. The scripted plays, be it the 15 to 25 that it was, were good. The creativity was there. And then you had to lean back on Linehan without the script, and it kind of regressed into the same old, same old. So it's getting better, but do you guys still trust Scott Linehan at all? I don't think so. I think it's more of a 2 or a 3 for me, and frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys threw out a 0 as well. But let me know what you guys think, because I'm not quite buying into Linehan as a trustworthy coordinator. He'll make some good decisions, as all coordinators do, but I don't trust him play in and play out. Do you know what I do trust, though? This awesome Mizzen and Main shirt. You can get your own at comfortable.af. Trust me, folks, it is the most comfortable dress shirt you will ever own, and happen to be made in America as well. All right, one last rumor. Will this be the breakout week for Zeke? I kind of think so. I'm going to give this one 3 stars. I am fully prepared for Zeke to have a nice bounce-back week. Couple big reasons here. Number 1. In the first 2 weeks of the year, Ezekiel Elliott averages about 65.5 yards per game. That's not very good. But in week 3 and beyond, even at the kind of rougher part of last season, Zeke puts up 100 and almost 13 per game. Now, maybe he doesn't put up 113, but the Seattle Seahawks defense is not that elite defense that it used to be. I think you're going to see Zeke have that breakout game in week 3. The offensive line was better in week 2. They're going to be better in week 3 against a not great Seahawks defensive line. I have high expectations for Zeke and for the entire season. So with that in mind, do you think Zeke will lead the NFL in rushing yards? Type Y for yes and type N for no. Now, those of you that typed yes, well, good news here, folks. BetDSI plus 200 odds. And Zeke, by the way, folks, is still the betting favorite to lead the NFL in rushing yards, which isn't a huge surprise to me based on the other guys that are up, guys like Matt Breida, for example. So if you think Zeke's going to do it, go to chatsports.com/bet. Just put down $10 on it. You put down $10, you'll win 20, grand total of 30 right there. Those are still good odds for Zeke Elliott. And sign up with promo code Cowboys120. They'll give you a 120% deposit bonus. All right, folks, we will see you guys on Saturday for a little Cowboys Seahawks preview.